Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me online by just typing in Mark Parham podcast and I should pop up wherever you listen to podcasts. One thing I've been noticing online is a lot of folks have been getting into collecting Pokemon cards and it's very interesting to me because I'm somebody that I was someone who collected trading cards, like basketball, football, baseball, tops, different brands and stuff like that. I collected trading cards back in the days. And, I loved collecting trading cards. Like it was something where, you were always looking for an insert. You're always looking for, if you got a certain card, you would be checking it up to see, if it was worth any money, just a lot of different things. And, I used to, trade cards with my friends, and it was just like I said, I loved trading cards. And with these Pokemon cards, I didn't realize how popular these Pokemon cards would be. I think Logan Paul has a card that's worth like $1 million or over $1 million, something like that. But it's just amazing to see how Pokemon cards are, worth so much money now. Like, I remember when the whole Pokemon thing was, starting up in the cartoon and all this other stuff. And, I didn't think it would get as big as it, has gotten when it comes to trading cards and just products and everything. And so it's really amazing. And, in the comment section, let me know why you started collecting Pokemon cards. Like, are you someone that started collecting those type of cards because, there's value in those cards, or are you a big fan of just Pokemon in general? But it's just very interesting to see, especially from, someone like me that, just collected, regular trading cards. Like there was nothing like buying a box of trading cards or even a pack of trading cards and just seeing, if you've got anything in there that's worth any money. And not even just that. Like I remember when, I was collecting trading cards where, I was a big fan of Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan and, a lot of those players back in the 90s. And it was just fun sometimes when, you would find maybe a bunch of Shaquille O'Neal cards or Michael Jordan cards, and over the years you start collecting them, and then you find out like, wait a minute, I have 10 different Shaquille O'Neal cards or Michael Jordan cards. Like it was just really interesting if you had particular players that you were interested in. And so it's just very interesting to see that, cards are something that people are still into. Like I really thought that, cards, people wouldn't necessarily care for, trading cards and stuff like that like they did back in the days, but it just goes to show you that a lot of different things and trends are coming back. And it's just amazing to see the value of these Pokemon cards. Like I think Logan Paul had one where it was worth $1 million or over $1 million. Like it just shows you the demand of Pokemon cards, and how many people watch that cartoon and buy the products and stuff. So it's just really amazing to see, you know, uh, the different type of cards people are collecting. Like I looked at, I think it was online. It was Alyssa Liu. She was collecting, or somebody. They were looking at a bunch of trading cards from. I don't know if it was a television show or a cartoon, but it was Alyssa Liu and some other a female that is an ice skater, and they were opening up packs of cards or looking at cards, something like that. But it's just amazing to see that people still collect cards, and so just seeing the interest in cards and seeing the different types of cards that are out here. Maybe I need to look at Pokemon cards and different cards because I was just so stuck on the traditional sports cards, baseball, basketball, and football. But maybe I need to expand my horizons and check out some other stuff. So in the comment section, let me know why you started collecting Pokemon cards, and then also, do you collect baseball cards, basketball cards? Like, what got you into collecting cards? Or you can just tell me if you think it's foolish to spend money on cards. For me, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's you know, something that has got me interested in collecting cards again. Since I've stopped, like I haven't collected trading cards for probably 20 years, but I might end up collecting cards again. So just let me know, how you feel about trading cards. If you collect Pokemon cards, just let me know.